Hello, welcome back to Blend Session Live. Today I'll be talking about stable diffusions and AI art. Once again, I've been meditating with this tool during the weekend. So I'm currently using Diffusion Bee on M1 Mac machine. So it's pretty slow, but I was able to generate something like this in about 3 or 4 minutes. So it's a lot faster than before. So this is the prompt, right? It's if I hit generate, we lost the previous image, and it's trying to generate a new AI art based on this prompt. So this is becoming kind of interesting because in the past when I'm drawing anything random, I don't think much about the details like in writing or in words. But with the AI art, I found that we need to think a lot deeper about what we want to create. Like we want to draw. Of course, you draw in 2D, maybe using Sketch, and you create like a concept art, and then you transfer that into 3D. That's what 3D digital artists do. But with the AI art, it's almost like you're doing that. You can do that on the fly, like in just few seconds, for example. So this prompt, how did I get this prompt? um, I actually copy and paste this from either from lexica.art or from cute creatures prompt. Okay, this one is more safe for work. I think it's more limited and there's only few, but you could actually create like a fluffy animals very quickly. So cute creatures is our topic for today, but I gonna limit it to handsome monkey. Okay, this one's still rendering. Okay, it's gonna take a while. My computer is slow. It should take just under 30 seconds in a fast with a fast machine with NVIDIA card maybe, but this one is doing it like very silently. If I show the logs, this is the process in percentage, and it's gonna take, oh yeah, up to 5-6 minutes. I should have restart my computer. It's gonna do it faster. But anyway, this latest version of Diffusion Bee app that's worked on Mac M1 or M2 have the ability to use image to image, which is kind of interesting as well, where we can have input image. So not just from text directly to image. So there's a lot of jump between the two, and of course the AI, the computer will try to translate your text, your English text into something meaningful, and then try to generate something randomly based on this. So chimpanzee or yeah, any kind of monkey or animals, close up, cute, adorable, cute big. Okay, this one will usually give you like a nice blurry background because I think we mentioned it's cute and small and tiny, so the lens will give like a nice blur bokeh. And especially if you specify also Pixar render, Unreal Engine, cinematic, yeah, this will give you like a nice image like this. It's almost like a 3D render. And the result, I have some result. This is handsome monkey based on Susan head. This is using image to image. Again, I'm using Susan head, and I actually draw something very quickly. I do something using Blender. Let me show you. Yeah, this is the original image inside Blender. If I try to render this out, this is using cycles. So you can see this is of course Susan head with simple hair, and I paint it a little bit, and then I draw this using grease pencil. This is what we get. Okay, and then I took just a quick screenshot, and then I feed this into Diffusion Bee, and it's gonna create a result. Actually, the first two image is the most basic result. It's giving like maybe like illustrations, vector art, it's not very advanced, but if you start to add some wordings, concept art, fur, it's starting to get realistic. Sometimes it gives us really weird results like this, where it tries to kind of blends between your text prompt and your input image and whatever prompt you give there. So I really think, okay, even though some people really hate the idea of AI art, that anyone can just simply type in a text they want something and get like a visual image, that so they can bypass all the artists. And also, okay, I think what people hate is really like when the model is based on an artist and the artist's style is not credited, the style is copied and it can create like a replica, but the original artist is not being credited. And especially with things like machine learning, you usually feed a lot of big data, and then very likely you don't know the origin of the data. It's like every pixel dust that's being fed into this model it might have a trace of the original artist. It might resemble certain artists, but yeah. Okay, this is the last one actually was generated a few minutes ago using Diffusion Bee. Okay, this one will take a while. Unfortunately, I cannot generate this fast enough because of my machine, but it's okay. I'm still like learning. And if you have like M1 machine, it's gonna take like this with this like this slow. If you have more memory, like 16 gigabyte GPU, 32, or I don't know, like M1 Max, M2 Max or something, it's gonna be a lot faster. But it's okay. It's a learning process. The fastest way actually, if I copy this prompt, the fastest way today is to use like AI background generator, or use other method like any other service out there that's offering like AI art. But this one is the fastest. I use this a lot, and I also have another one on a different machine that's can be a lot faster because I can do like batch. But anyway, it's just a copy and paste of the same prompt. Yeah, you're gonna get some result. This one, however, doesn't have image to image and doesn't have other advanced features of Stable Diffusions implementations, but still it's very interesting. So you can study all kind of styles of art based on the prompt and on the output. And of course, at the end of the day, you are as an artist, 2D or 3D or concept artist, you learn the art and the tools to create whatever you are imagining. Okay, this is llama. I can replace this with monkey. So if we are making something using Blender, like you might be wondering how I created the hair and the fur. So this is still quite recent, Blender hair. With 3.3 you get a stable versions. So if you have like let's say you're new to Blender, anyway you're learning how to navigate in 3D, and you want to make like you want to create a handsome monkey that I just created. Okay, something like this. However, we're gonna feed it with Suzanne. We want to make at least like the base shape of Suzanne head. Maybe we paint it a little bit. Maybe we give it like some drawings using grease pencil, and you want to paint some fur. I will show you how. So it's anyway, this one is completed. This one still generating. Well, 3 minutes, 4 minutes is slow process, but yeah, I will use the base model of Suzanne, and then I'm gonna feed this into Diffusion Bee using image to image, and hopefully if everything works out, we're gonna have like a handsome monkey like this. Okay, yeah, like Lexica also have some example. Look at this, some examples actually resemble Suzanne. Okay, the monkey is posed, and the rendering can be super realistic or hyper realistic. A mix of two, can be illustrative. You can actually create like a low poly model, or like a logo, or like a toy. It's really weird, right? Maybe I try to make the funky pop instead of just the furry realistic one. But anyway, enough talking. We have the base model of Suzanne. Suzanne is actually not a, it's a name based on the name. Suzanne sounds like a female's monkey name, but it could be anything. So let's save this as furry monkey. By default, it doesn't have any detail. I should maybe paint it first. So texture paint to start with. It's gonna give me pink. It doesn't have material. Okay, it's the same drill. What I'm showing you is really just the basic demonstrations of the process. So a material needs some texture to work with so we can paint on it. So I'll just give it a texture and just apply it into the base model, the base color. There's also option like for roughness, metallic, normal, specular, whatever. For now, just base model, base color. This is the resolution 1024 by 1024. Just hit OK. So we can start painting on Suzanne. The first thing you want to do, maybe fill it with the color. Let's say make it green monkey. That's okay. Suzanne is low resolutions by default. That's also okay. No problem. We can paint it whatever we like. Okay, the resolution of the 1024 by 1024, it's very low, but that's okay as well for this demonstration. You can make the resolution higher. So I'm just painting Suzanne with random color that I feel at the moment. Because this is, again, another 3D therapy. You can do whatever. And we're gonna use AI art to help us to aid and to kind of like reimagine what you want to create together with AI. It's very strange, you know. Most artists normally just work alone, maybe of course with some helps. Sometimes maybe you get feedback from your co-works, or if you're working alone like most artists, yeah, you will basically alone. Maybe if you're a digital artist, of course you're with the machine, and you have like social media friends like on Twitter or other apps, but mostly you are alone with your art basically. But if when you're working with the AI, with the machine, it's like you have your friends working with you, you know. It's really weird. So I just painted, I just give a texture, paint my monkey. If I go back to object mode, it disappears, right? It's not really disappears. If you go to image editor, look at the material. Okay, you have the monkey. Okay, monkey base color. You haven't saved this, by the way, so it's a good idea to save it into a folder. Okay. Yeah, good idea to create a folder. Call it like blend handsome monkey. You're gonna have a nice looking monkey in the end. So file, save as. Save this also in the same folder, just to be tidy. So this guy is still connected to this texture under material. I'm showing it like if you are using Blender for the first time. So we need to go to shader editor. You can see this is the material nodes editor. This color plug into principles and to the materials, and then if you want to see this on the 3D view, we turn on texture. This Suzanne looks very low poly. If we Control 2 or Control 3, we get smoother. Of course, it's still faceted. It's got subdivision now. We can control the subdivision here. Right click and shade smooth. Okay, that's the normal thing we do. Okay, the monkey looks really basic, but we can continue. okay, the idea, of course, well, we want to colorize, we want to give fur to our monkey, so I don't know, just give random colorful color. It's gonna be, in the end, we're gonna have something that's more interesting to look at. I should have given some more color to the face, I think. I don't know, yeah. Maybe give it like some crazy eyebrow. Anyhow, this you can take a screenshot of this and then send it to Stable Diffusion AI. Oh, anyway, we have monkey here. Pretty weird looking monkey, but we can save this very quickly. Cool. So image to image, let's see, if I just take a screenshot of this guy currently without any fur. So I take a screenshot, go to image. I'm gonna close this, we don't need this. If I close the app, the Diffusion Bee will run faster. So my process when doing the 3D therapy seems very messy, but the output can be still kind of interesting. So the prompt, okay, I forgot to copy the prompt. Oh yeah, just copy paste. 3D fluffy monkey head, Pixar render, blah blah. Okay. Number of image 1, step 25, input strength 0.3, generate. This might take a little bit faster, but I don't know. Yeah, let's the AI doing its job. Let's go back to Suzanne. So fur. In the past, if you want to create fur, we create particles and hair. But with the new Blender 3.3 and modern workflow, we can kind of do it a little bit in a more interesting way. Just maybe right click. What's the tool? Okay, F3, hair. Yeah, curve, create empty hair. If you do that while selecting Suzanne, you're gonna get curve, which is empty, which is interesting, right? But anyway, select Suzanne again and go to sculpt mode. Sorry, not selecting Suzanne. Select the curve and then go to sculpt mode. So we are sculpting curve. So this is the idea. With latest Blender, with geometry nodes, it's actually really powerful workflow to work with curves. Okay, underneath is like just so you are able to paint hair. So this is what we are doing. Currently, Suzanne curve is empty. This curve data is empty, and we want to add some curve data because today's topic is a handsome monkey with fur, and we are using AI to help us to do that. So this is the tools inside Blender that's allowing us to just paint hair or fur into our monkey. And yep, it's always looking little bit bizarre at first, but it's fun because it's 3D geometry and we are painting fur. It's really fun, even though you are super new to Blender or super new to 3D. It's not recommended to just jump into it like this because it's better to have some knowledge of 3D. But if you want to do like a 3D therapy with this tool that's available to you, why not? Hair is really fun to work with, and there's a lot of tools here. It's most of them is kind of intuitive, like the comb. So you're adding hair, you can delete hair, but if you want to give it a little bit more personality, so yeah, just combing it. It reminds me I need to go cut my hair as well. But let's see, I think grow and density, yeah, maybe I give it too much hair at the moment. I should just give it more basic looking hair. We can grow and shrink. Grow, okay, grow hair. Punk hair, Suzanne. And okay, maybe that's too much. I'm gonna hold control and it's gonna reverse. Anyway, I'm combing and adding hair and just trying to give some kind of personality to our monkey. Is it like the 70s or 80s or 90s again? Maybe, you know, some, give it like a hairstyle that's trendy or current, or Suzanne just doesn't want to look trendy. Suzanne, the monkey head can be anything. Anyway, her hair is fun. The hair will get its color from the texture once you convert it. So that's the hair. We don't worry about the color for now, but let's check our AI. It's almost finished. It's that slow on the M1, but it's okay. 3 minutes, 4 minutes, and you're still doing your things anyway. Save it. Save it into different blend if you want. So this guy is 3D. We can render it with EV or cycles. It's faster with cycles. We just need to also give it some light, like the sun. So by default, the hair will look, it doesn't look like fur, it looks like curve that's being rendered, because by default, this is what cycles does. Cycles will render the curve as like a pipe, like a thread. Okay, that's fine for now. The next process, what I'll do, so the light is really basic, the shader material is really basic, the hair is like super basic all over the place. To make it looks nice and beautiful, it takes a bit of work and adjustment, but it's okay for now. Just keep doing it. Okay, I just created grease pencil just now, and by default grease pencil will draw black ink. Okay, black brush, because of the material on the grease pencil. Okay, maybe I did that too fast, but anyway, you can rewatch this video later. So I want to give Suzanne something like maybe some clothes. At this point, I'm drawing like a comic artist. Okay, so if you're a 2D comic artist, or maybe like you have different type of skill. My skill is probably more like a comic artist, right? I can doodle like this very fast. My doodle may be like super basic, but this is still pretty useful skill. I just should give it a tie, or I don't know, like a different type of clothing. Yeah, I don't know, it's a bit formal, it's a bit, I don't know, I can give it a hat as well, but yeah, anyway, this is the thought process. Okay, we got this monkey based on this monkey head. Not the most beautiful looking, but anyway, this is using the input string of 0.3. So we have a prompt and we have a monkey head. It's trying to diffuse and blend between the two. If you increase this higher, it's gonna match our drawing a little bit more. If you make it lower, it's gonna match the prompt a little bit. Sometimes 0.3 and 0.4 is enough. Okay, look, we got the grease pencil happening, and we have this monkey. Again, I will remove the grid. I'm gonna take a screenshot once again. This time, I will grab the other image. Now, Suzanne with hair. Fluffy monkey with cool, trendy, colorful hair. Close up, cute, adorable, cute, big. Some of the prompt is unnecessary. I mean, we can still use Pixar render, Unreal Engine, cinematic. Maybe remove intricate details. That might make things a little bit faster. Input strings, let's try 0.5. Generate. It's gonna use this input image, gonna generate something. The AI will do its magic. It's gonna create variations based on whatever you have. Back to our grease pencil. The outline will work, however, it's better if we paint it. Random color paint is probably better, but for now, anyway, I will use a new color. Just pick a random color. Oh, I just make the black stroke. It's becoming different color. Okay. I need to select the second color and then hit this number, so it's becoming single new color. We can pick a color, maybe red. Maybe this is a like a Santa monkey. Here's the radius. I'm painting. It's a different brush. We want to paint it on different layer. Maybe that's a better idea. Because I don't want to paint the stroke. So this layer should be underneath. So grease pencil is of course painting in 3D. Currently this is like a flat, kind of a flat 3D. It could be interesting if it's actually volumetric, and if I'm doing this using VR, I think yeah, it's gonna be great tools to be able to do that. See, because it's a grease pencil, it's 3D, but I'm painting on the same plane. So let's try. I have another layer. This is red layer. This is the ink, black ink. This is a new color, and I'll create a new material with the red color, or maybe green or yellow. Okay, yellow. Yeah, basically painting, make like a doodle on this. I just want to prove a point that we can kind of combine 3D artwork with AI. See, it's halfway there. If it takes seconds, I will be just staying there. But since we have this Blender tool, Blender app we work most of the time. Let's the AI do its job, make variations overnight. Maybe overnight you can get like 16, 14 image. Yeah. For now. We have to kind of balance between the AI, what's AI doing and what you do manually, you know. So with Suzanne, I think we are missing a bit of characteristic here. So really, face paint is quite something. You know, I always think Suzanne the monkey is looking kind of like the Doraemon. Like Doraemon is like a cat robot from the future. We have monkey head, which is like a, that looks a little bit like a clown. We can do anything with this guy. Anyway, I just give it like a quick painting. Maybe the eyebrow can be dark purple. Super crazy painting. Look, the head, the expressions and everything, it's a little bit basic, but it's okay. Look, this is 3D. We can just maybe rotate it a little bit so it's not always like a straight on. I mean, the eyes is not looking to the front, to the camera anymore, which we can adjust, but for now, I guess let's do it like this. Okay, the hair is still in the hair mode, I mean in the curve mode. I'll give you, anyway, this hair is connected to Suzanne already on this surface with using the UV map from Suzanne. So if we are selecting the curve and go to sculpt mode with the curve being selected, we can go to curve, convert to particle system. It's gonna convert it into the old school particle system. So it's using the color from our surface base mesh. So now we actually have something that's more presentable. I mean, this is only like for 3D therapy, so don't worry too much about how it's gonna end up looking. It's not perfect, but it's kind of work in progress. But anyway, it's just, again, it's just a 3D therapy. For the material, don't forget, whenever you do a little bit of painting, don't forget to save. And yeah, with some magic, the hair is rendered as something that is looking more like a hair. We might denoise it a little bit more, and then with Suzanne shader here, we can add subsurface scattering, but the hair also is using that subsurface scattering, so maybe don't do that for now. So the hair is using the same material as the surface, it's getting the same color. This hair is now actually like a particle, and it can be rendered in much higher resolutions if we go under children and turn on simple, and then we can control the length of the hair as well and the amount when it's being rendered. Anyhow, we have this guy. This guy is being modified, has been modified by AI. Now I'll take a screenshot of this guy. He's looking a bit like character from McDonald, the clown. Ronald McDonald. Oh yeah, okay. Now I have this character. Once again, I will balance this input strength between 0.3 and 0.5. 3D fluffy monkey with cool colorful hair, wearing furry clown suit. Monkey with red nose with cool colorful hair. Okay, blah blah. Maybe I can reduce the step to 15. You can make it higher, but for the speed, we are aiming for the speed. How long this is gonna take? We can go to log, show logs. It's gonna try to tell us, okay, it's gonna take 10 samples, maybe 5 minutes or something. Oh, let's see. 2 minutes 37. Okay, not bad. Not bad. It's gonna be a lot faster. In the meantime, we can go back to Blender. We can give it a floor. Of course, you can have background or you can have AI to generate the background for you, or you can make it in 3D. We might have like a hill, I don't know, like basic stuff, trees, cloud, sky. I might not do that today. We can give it like a environment. Let's focus on the sun shadow for now. Oh yeah, I forgot. The grease pencil doesn't actually cast shadow unless you convert it into curve. Yeah, that's kind of too bad. You can, however, convert the grease pencil into curve. But for now, you can continue painting on Suzanne, or if I'm not wrong, this surface actually that has our curve can be sculpted. So now I'm in sculpt mode in Blender. So I'm showing a lot of feature of Blender today. The hair, painting, 3D painting, and the grease pencil. Now I'm gonna be sculpting. My favorite sculpt tool is Grab. Yeah, this one will sculpt Suzanne. It's gonna deform Suzanne, and we can change the expression and make Suzanne kind of funnier and less rigid, you know. The eyes actually the eyebrow can have a lot of expression. So it's Suzanne but with characters and with yeah, because we are we are deforming it. The cool thing about this process, when you're deforming, the hair is also moving with it. The fur is still attached to Suzanne. And Suzanne head is really weird. You can sculpt your own 3D character next time. For now, just Suzanne, just for quick demonstrations. The body also, okay, grease pencil, go to sculpt mode. Grease pencil have sculpt mode. We're gonna make this more dynamic looking. You can do this in 3D using mouse like what I'm doing, or if you have like a stylus, maybe do use your stylus. However, if you're doing it in 3D, you have some advantage as well. Of course, if you do this, if you doodle very quickly on a iPad or any stylus with a Wacom tablet or iPad pencil, it's gonna be faster just to doodle, and then you don't need 3D to do this. But I'm doing it in 3D anyway, showing you the process. I'm doing this back and forth between Blender and AI to do it for me. It's just really weird. But anyway, yeah, with 3D you have perspective and you can move the camera a little bit, and then you can pick the view and you can play around with the focal length, so you have like perspective. So you can have like a, you can use ultra wide camera and have a bit of perspective, so it's totally deformed. Yeah, and then you take a screenshot or render. So far I've been using screenshot to make this more a little bit better. You can adjust the light, so just give it a green light. So this is like a Suzanne goblin mode. It's really weird. Give it some proper light, maybe at least something that the AI can work with. And it's okay to have like a noisy image as well. So far I'm using cycles with denoising. The AI will actually do the denoising for us. So if you have like a noisy, even like a noisy 3D image, if you feed this into Diffusion Bee or other method, yeah, you're gonna get something like that. Super weird. Handsome monkey and we can have endless variants or variations. It's really like looking like scary looking monkey. Let's push this a little bit closer to what we created. When you generate, you can ask Diffusion Bee to generate 10, 12, 14, 16 image, and then you just leave it for a few hours. So it's gonna create something that's a little bit more interesting. I forgot. Yeah, maybe change the input, because we already updated our design. This is the latest. Could be more dynamics in pose. Option generate 4 image, for example, instead of just 1. So since I'm currently still recording, I could pause and then continue recording, but maybe I'm gonna show you maybe going through the previous render by Stable Diffusion. So the AI art can kind of mimic all kind of different design. For some of this, it's very concept art looking, but also very realistic. From concept art like this, you can of course look at it. Okay, we can try to recreate this inside Blender, right? So that's usually kind of back and forth. This is what I'm doing. From this, you're gonna get a visual. It's a low resolutions, around 512. Okay, but anyway, we're starting to see how the AI kind of interpret this and then make predictions. If you blur this, actually, so far we've been using the same prompt. If we change the prompt and say it's like a low resolutions monkey head with a clown suit and yeah, colorful hair, it's gonna give you a different result. Unlimited variations based on your prompt and also based on your input image. You can kind of slide and blend between the two until you get a result that's kind of nice. Like this is really nice looking, you know. Some of this looks totally bizarre, but there's also, yeah, something like this. It's like the real render from Blender. From here, of course, you want to go back. You want to start, maybe you can start from scratch and resculpt it and then give it a hair, make a real 3D body instead of just painting it using grease pencil. But you can start to see where this is going. We created 2 design. Why are they looking unfinished? That's because we are using really low sample. If I increase the sample, it's gonna be higher. So with some kind of AI magic, we can create unlimited variations. Input strength of 0.3 or 0.4 might be what you want. And step of 15 is too low, maybe step of 20. Since we are like between Halloween and Christmas, we start to get like a goblin looking character. It's very suitable. Some of this is like vector art. Yeah, if you need to wait that long, you can get some inspiration from Lexica art and do this AI background generator once again. Lexica art. So we are not limited in our creations. Pretty looking monkey. We can get really weird. You can turn this basic art into something like this. Extremely Extremely psychedelic portrait of monkey, surreal LSD face detail, often render photorealistic. Wow, photorealistic indeed. You can turn our monkey head into that if you just copy the prompt and paste it. This one is looking like a 3D render, like a real doll. This one looks like photograph from National Geographic. They are all looking kind of familiar, but they are also looking unusual. This the monkey with pearl earrings. So if you can imagine AI art as a tool for creations, if you are kind of person that likes to go spend time in a museum, gallery, and then you study art and all kind of style of artists, this is cool actually. If we copy the prompt and paste it here, we can turn this 3D miss and match of tools and medium into this kind of style. I haven't tried it really. We might end up with all kind of weird looking art, but if we can copy the style and then copy the prompt like this. Is like very concept art kind of result. If only I can do this like in seconds, then yeah, this is low poly monkey. We can actually turn this into a low poly art as well, sometimes with this kind of material, fabric. And yeah, this kind of okay monkey with wearing virtual reality goggles. Our monkey is not wearing anything, but we can actually specify wearing a hat. If we just do the hat and using image to image, it's gonna do it for us. So you can like a single prompt, chimpanzee, and with actually with if you use the AI art and if you specify like handsome, pretty, beautiful, that's usually what people put in, but try also like ugly and weird looking, and it's gonna give you something that's a little bit more interesting. You don't always, I mean, there's a pig beautiful looking monkey and a pig ugly looking, sometimes like a morph between different animals that can be more interesting to look at than just like a beautiful or pretty looking monkey, like or chimpanzee that's alien or monster. You have like a lot of examples of AI art here that you can use as inspirations. And if you're an artist that's doing it with pencil, crayons, or whatever medium or tools that you're using, not Blender, anything, and then you paint something, you can actually use that as well, and also get inspiration from AI art and then bring it back into AI, like AI tools like Diffusion Bee, work back and forth until you come up with something interesting. This one's cool. This style is really cool and really distinct. Oh yeah, Mike Mignola, Hellboy. You can actually specify Mike Mignola and you might get that result. Art Germs, famous concept artists on the internet also. This looking like a 3D sculpt. You can actually make this to look like it's being carved on wood or being carved on a rock or stone. So anything, if you can imagine, this is kind of like a box that can generate anything for you. It's kind of does that for you, and yes and no, you know. Yeah, it's giving me like a really weird monkey here with a lot of fur as well. But you don't stop here. Actually, with some prompt, you're gonna get something that's totally different. So one generation can take quite a while, and you can upscale the image or send it. You can upscale and save the image. That's probably what you want. But yeah, we have a clown monkey. And yeah, that's basically the process. I could stay here and keep talking and wait until we have new result, and then we can review. This is maybe not my favorite, but it's generating something for us, and we have to appreciate that. The AI doesn't always give you what you want. Depending on the prompt, you're gonna get something that's looking, it's like very mediocre looking based on this artwork is better than this. But then you can change the prompt, any kind of art style, if you like the style. And the AI, not just the style, it's actually, you can add and change the design. The pose, I want to keep the pose, so currently it's just this, and this doesn't match really well. You know why? Because of the scale that we put in. If the prompt have more of the style, you can increase the strength, so it's gonna match our original artwork, and then try to match it with this color and style. So I'm stopping these generations. What I'm talking about is this input strength. At the moment, at 0.3, it's gonna try to match the prompt a little bit more. If I increase this to 0.5, it's gonna try to match our artwork over here. If I just copy this prompt, so it's more about the style. Copy the prompt, paste it here. Cyberpunk excited young monkey underwater. Okay, wearing clown suit and monkey with punky hair. Punk. Cyberpunk digital painting, 4K, generate. I'm curious about the result here. Maybe I should just keep talking or just work on this. What can we improve here?